Well, starting at the beginning, I remember I found PT Ben on, it was just like a Google search of physical therapists near me. I think that's literally what I searched, was physical therapists near me. And I had a bunch of issues. I had problems with my lower back, my upper back, maybe something else. I can't remember. I had like a feeling of hopelessness, and like I wasn't going to be able to exercise to the same level I had been previously. And I thought there would be chronic issues that would be super debilitating. So I needed to go to a PT, but I also wanted someone who would like appreciate sort of the activities I want to get back to, and not just, you know, make me pain-free through work or treat me to a bare minimum. So Ben appealed to me because he was young, and he had an emphasis on athletics and conditioning as well, strength and conditioning. So I knew he would, you know, be someone who would push me to get back to a certain level activity versus just, you know, making sure I was without pain in everyday activities. So yeah, I mean, I feel like he's done that, and it's been a year and 3 months now, I think, and I'm still working with him, and I've gotten back to playing soccer, mostly pain-free, and I've gotten back to doing exercises in the gym, you know, COVID permitting, that I never thought I would be able to do again, doing squats, deadlifts, things that put a lot of stress on my lower back. And I'm now, originally when I came to him, I wasn't able to work without pain in my mid back. I just sit at a desk all day and type. And so I was worried about my livelihood. And now I have another issue, but that's unrelated to the initial one. And now my mid back doesn't bother me nearly as much. And I know how to treat it when it does flare up. And I'm working on preventative exercises and strengthening with him. So I'm not worried about my livelihood in the same way I was. So yeah, I have only good things to say. And I feel like the amount of time I've been working with him, I've come a long way, but the fact that I still want to work with him says a lot about, you know, he's not just treating whatever ailments you might have, but he's working with you to get you beyond that and see where you can go next.
So when I first went to PT Ben, I was not able to even walk without pain. And my goal was to be able to run long distance. I love running. And I was really also very helpless, felt like I wasn't going to be able to run again. I couldn't even walk without pain. And I also had just stopped trying. And when Clancy told me that he was really about like getting people back to high level performance, I was skeptical. But once I met him and he was like a cheerleader, like a big built, tall cheerleader, like a man cheerleader, then I felt like it was possible. And definitely like we started slow, but I started to feel better. And it turned out to be a nerve issue, which is complicated. And so even though it took a while to figure out, I felt like very supported that we were going to figure it out. And he didn't give up and say like, well, you can walk now or you can run a mile, so it's fine. We've continued to push what I can do. And even when I take a couple steps back, he's always there to like gas you up and make sure that you keep going on your journey. And I started going to the gym for the first time, which always was really intimidating to me. And he was very patient and really supportive with like form, like how to get into it, just really basic stuff. And through that, I also was able to build strength for my running. And I think it's the first time I've ever taken cross training seriously. And so I've just seen like a lot of benefits, both in terms of like what I can do physically, but also how I approach exercise and my fitness generally. So it's been a great year. And yeah, I think the fact that we're still working with him just speaks to the volumes of like, we always feel like there's more to learn and like he can take us there.
I mean, I feel like mine has dramatically improved because if I only had sports related stuff, like that's a huge bummer. You can't do the activities you love, but I was in pain like 6 to 8 hours a day, depending on my work schedule. And that's like, it was super mentally draining for me. And yeah, it made it hard to like get through the day, stay focused on work. And then even to like want to exercise outside of work, because I knew, it would affect that as well. So since dealing with that, it's improved dramatically. And the fact that I'm also able to, play soccer and swim mostly pain-free, that's also a huge quality of life improvement.
Be excited about exercising again and feeling like not just getting back to where I had been, but going even further makes working and training just a lot more exciting. And I was having trouble like walking, so it's obviously helped tremendously. But I think the biggest quality of life improvement is just being excited to work out and feeling like, also, if we do have a problem, like we can text him whenever, which is great. And we have like a plethora of exercises. So he gives us the tools to like fix what we, like maybe an issue comes up and it's come up before, and like we have the tools to help us without even asking him sometimes. And I think that is also something that's the first time I've ever had that.
Yeah, tools and an understanding. It's not like we just have rules of thumb, like, okay, this hurts, I'll do this. It's like sort of understand why we're in pain, which I think is really helpful in like actually doing the exercises. Honestly, you are convinced that what you're doing will help because you know why.
I think that the team will really try to figure out exactly what's happening and why it's happening, and give you all as much information as possible to make it easy for you to understand what's happening with your body. And it's also a very like easy to follow way of learning, and also like learning exercises.
Yeah, I think it's also it's an investment, and if you're not able to do what you want to do, or you're not able to go to work without being in pain, like you need to ask yourself, am I willing to spend a little bit of time up front, seeing someone who knows a lot about the body and who can fix this, and being willing to do exercises. And if you're willing to put that time in up front, your life's going to get better for it, and it'll pay off in the long run. So I think, be willing to put that time in up front, because it's definitely worth it.